Welcome to Real Bear Reviews, your paradise for movie lovers. Thank you for supporting our channel. Your love keeps us alive and growing.
A couple kissing in a car that has crashed is laughed at by a group of thugs nearby, who film them. They don't just take one photo, they take many. Danny sees this and immediately tells them to stop, saying it's a private moment for him and his wife, and demands that they delete the photos immediately. However, the thugs flatly refuse. Hey man, please don't do that. Danny tries to reason with them, but as soon as he approaches, the thug provocatively uploads the video to social media.
Delete it now.
You gonna hit me? His wife advises him not to engage with them, but Danny continues to glare at the thug, refusing to leave. Are you a man, huh? Are you a man? Hearing this, his wife hopes her husband will be a little more firm, but immediately after, that hope becomes distant. Even though he was humiliated, Danny eventually decides to let it go. When he gets home, he repeatedly pours cold water over himself, hoping to use this method to forget what just happened, but when he lies on the bed, the image of being humiliated keeps haunting him, and he can't shake it. The next day, his wife, Jess, vents all her frustration on a punching bag. Perhaps not yet satisfied, she then throws a punch at the club owner, Nikki. Unexpectedly, Nikki not only isn't angry, but becomes a listening ear. Jess then confesses all the frustrations in her heart. She says Danny is a family man who loves her and their 3 children very much, but she feels stuck in a rut. Aside from Thursday nights, there's nothing interesting about the other days because Danny is not only not chivalrous, but also a homebody. However, she has no idea that before they were married, her husband was a very influential gang leader. For the past 18 years, he's been content with a peaceful life, selling used cars to support the whole family. He acts as both a father and a mother, making money and taking care of the housework. Yesterday, he had planned to spend some time with his wife to celebrate their 18th wedding anniversary, but it was ruined by those thugs. But little did he know that the wheel of fortune had already silently turned. The next day, he took his youngest son to the supermarket to buy diapers. As soon as he opened the freezer to get ice cream, a man with braids rushed at him. He immediately realized something. Right after that, the man attacked him. Damn it, buddy, my apologies. No way. He tried to negotiate with the braided man to let the baby go first, but the other party wasn't reasonable at all and immediately attacked. However, even so, he didn't waver. This scene stunned the neighbor lady. At this moment, the killer rushed at him, throwing him far away. He got up in a fit of rage, throwing several cans of food in succession. Seeing that there was enough distance, he delivered a kick and then a spinning kick. The neighbor lady who witnessed the scene was completely speechless. But that's not all. I told you to let me put the baby down first, you fool. The killer fainted on the spot. Danny calmly picked up the diapers from the ground and casually walked out of the supermarket, in front of the cashier's stunned eyes. After that, he drove home at a speed of 200 miles per hour. When he got out of the car, the neighbors were also stunned. But he didn't care about that and rushed home, using a knife to scrape a small piece of metal on the white wall of the stairs. After pressing the secret button, the white panel on the stairs popped open. He took a large black bag from inside that had been sealed for 18 years. Inside were several handguns and many passports from different countries, but when he opened the passports to look, he realized they were all expired. Having no other choice, he took out 2 more stacks of US dollars from the secret compartment and immediately called Nick, his close friend whom he hadn't contacted in many years. Nick was very surprised to hear his voice, not expecting him to still be alive, but Danny didn't have time to explain. He needed Nick to help him and his family get new identities.
How dare you contact me?
Ma, Fry is hunting you all over the world. It looks like he's found me. I don't know, I guess through social media. You idiot. After quickly packing his things, he took his 3 children to find his wife. Jess was a little surprised to hear her husband say he was taking the whole family on a trip to Las Vegas. Danny explained that he wanted to take the whole family to see the Eiffel Tower and an Elvis show. We're going to drive. Road trips are the best way to bond as a family. At that moment, Danny suddenly saw a black Cadillac Escalade appear downstairs. He realized that if they didn't leave immediately, it would be too late, so he hurriedly lied to his wife to get her into the car. But as soon as they reached the exit of the parking lot, he noticed the killers in the Escalade staring at him. He thought he should take a shortcut to save time. Just then, a bus drove up. Hurry, follow that bus. After the thugs left, Danny quickly drove in another direction. He thought he had lost them, but unexpectedly, the black car immediately followed. The black car suddenly accelerated and got close to his car. Danny quickly swerved, turning the car into a small street. Oh my god, where are you taking us? It's not that, honey, it's a shortcut. You've never been on this road. As soon as he finished speaking, he realized the black car was still following him. He immediately felt that something was wrong, so he took the whole family to his workplace. He used the remote control to open the gate and drove inside. The black car tried to follow, but was blocked by the gate.
There seems to be a rest stop on the right.
The driver heard this and drove towards the rest stop. Danny quickly drove into the company's repair workshop, in front of everyone's surprised eyes. He made up an excuse to check the car and had it lifted. Soon after, he discovered a real-time GPS tracker under the car. He quickly removed it and immediately looked for an attention-seeking colleague. Knowing that this guy was planning to drive his new sports car around, he immediately attached the tracker to his car. Buddy, a car is like a girlfriend. Just drive it on the highway and go full speed. It'll take care of the speeding ticket. Hearing this, the guy immediately floored it and took off. We found him. He's moving west. Finally, Danny escaped the pursuit of the killers. His whole family drove straight to Las Vegas. Oh no, it was San Antonio. But after only a short distance, Danny realized a problem. What are you doing? I'm posting about our trip. On FYT and TikTok. In my day, you went on a road trip, you had direct contact. Dad, please stop. I don't want to hear your lecture now. You don't even know how to send a text message, so don't have an opinion. In serious. Can we just turn off our phones for this vacation? Then Danny threw all 4 phones into the river. The other 3 were completely stunned by this incomprehensible action, but Danny explained that doing so would help them get closer to each other. Although they were not satisfied with this explanation, they happily sang rap, and what's more, they sang in perfect unison and rhythm. At the same time, MCA Fry, the man Nick mentioned, appeared at Danny's house. Seeing the photo of their family of 5, old MCA Fry was furious and immediately ordered the hacker under him to find their whereabouts at all costs. The hacker said he had monitored all of Danny's family's social media accounts, but got nothing. They obviously turned off their phones. Find the Odyssey by its path. It's not a problem, boss. Since he didn't tell his family his secret, it would be hard for him to change cars.
How do you know they don't know?
They're still with him. As night fell, Danny's family was fast asleep, but he was wide awake, yawning repeatedly. But then he suddenly woke up, realizing that MCA Frey's men had found him. Several killers on motorcycles quickly chased him. Unexpectedly, Danny saw them and didn't panic at all. He connected the music in the car to his headphones, took out a pistol, and attached a silencer. Just as he turned up the volume on his headphones, the killers caught up with him. He seized the opportunity to fire 2 shots. The killer's arm was immediately shot and broken, and he crashed on the spot. The youngest son saw this and clapped and cheered. At this moment, a killer was close to him, preparing to shoot, but Danny acted first, pulling him off his motorcycle. During the struggle, the killer dropped his gun. Seeing this, the son handed his dad his baby bottle. Danny took the baby bottle, put it into the killer's helmet, and squeezed hard. Soon, the last killer also caught up. Danny immediately cut him off. The killer lost his balance and fell. What just happened? Oh, honey, it was just a pothole. After that, they drove into a small town and found a motel to spend the night. The next day, they continued their journey. Their next journey was quite smooth, without any difficulties or setbacks, and they were not pursued by killers. At this point, they were very close to Las Vegas. It was late afternoon and it happened to be a Thursday, so the family of 5 found a motel to stay at. Although they were close to Las Vegas, they couldn't ignore the habit they had maintained for 18 years. The next scene is quite violent, so I decided to spare you the details. Being loved so much made Jess smile happily. I wonder if she would still be able to smile if she knew about her husband's true past. After a day on the road, the family of 5 finally arrived in Las Vegas. Jess was extremely excited because for the past 3 years, she had dreamed of going to Las Vegas with her husband. Now, her dream had come true. To make his wife even happier, Danny specially booked a super luxurious presidential suite at the Aria Resort and Casino. Jess was overjoyed and went crazy because this was the most luxurious hotel room she had ever seen in her life, and nothing could compare to it. However, just as she thought they could have a great time here for a while, her husband went downstairs to meet his close friend Nick. After a few casual greetings, Nick gave him an envelope. Inside were not only the passports for the 5 people in his family, but also plane tickets to Vancouver for the next day, purchased with their new identities. Danny didn't want Nick to work for nothing, so he gave him a black bag containing $500,000. Returning to the room, he had a knife in his calf and tucked a pistol into his waistband to ensure safety and to prepare for any unexpected events. At this moment, his wife also appeared at the door in a charming red dress. To go to such a luxurious place, of course, she had to dress up a bit. Before they left the room, Danny carefully instructed his children to take care of their youngest sibling and to never leave the room. But unexpectedly, as soon as they left the room, the 3 children ignored their father's instructions.
Soon they were out having a blast.
Meanwhile, their parents were enjoying a romantic candlelit dinner at a restaurant, but before the meal started, Danny decided to confess everything to his wife. I don't need a table. I want to be alone with my wife. I actually don't speak French. They only teach us a few phrases to sound fancy. I'll be right back. Jess was a little confused and surprised. You speak French too? How good are you? I don't know, it's been a while. I've been to many places around the world. Even so, it's very difficult for me to tell you the truth. I'm afraid you'll be sad. I don't know if you'll still love me after you know my true identity. I'm so sorry I dragged you into this, but I swear I will never let anyone harm you and the children. Do you think Jess understood?
No.
Sounds so sexy. Saying it in French sounds more harmonious, doesn't it? French is a beautiful language. Hearing this, Jess was no longer interested in the candlelit dinner and immediately suggested that they go back to the room to exercise with some moves they had never tried before. So, after they finished their meal, they immediately went back to their room. Seeing that the children were fast asleep, Jess quickly went into the room, turned on some romantic music, and posed, ready and waiting, but just as she thought her husband had gotten the signal and would come back to the room to explore some new knowledge with her, danger suddenly struck. Jess was a little confused.
It's not New Year's or a holiday.
Why are they shooting fireworks? Immediately after easily taking down 2 killers, Danny immediately crouched down and began to look for other enemies. Unexpectedly, at this moment, a killer came out, holding his wife hostage. He's here.
Calm down. You've already got me.
You've won. To his wife's astonishment, he put his gun on the ground. Taking advantage of the killer's distraction, he took out a knife. Let her go. Now she knows. The killer said that he would kill Danny first, and then his wife. In the end, he would have his accomplices at the hacker when game arena kill his children. Sounds good, doesn't it? But immediately after, the killer was taken down on the spot. I can explain. But Jess was already terrified. How could she give him a chance to explain? She turned to look at the dead killer and started to throw up. Honey, this is normal. Everyone who sees this for the first time will throw up. After saying that, he ran to the killer, took his gun and phone. At this moment, Jess went to the children's room and found that the 3 children were not in the room at all. It was just a trick they played. Remembering what the killer had just said, the couple quickly ran to the hacker when game arena. On the way, Danny wanted to explain to his wife, but she didn't want to listen and scolded him fiercely. Now she just wanted to find her 3 children. Soon they arrived at the game arena. At this moment, they found the audience cheering the name of their son, Kelly. It turned out that the boy was a big fan of video games. He had just single-handedly defeated the opposing team, which was why there was such a passionate celebration. But when the 3 children were about to show off to their dad didn't even care. Seeing that the 3 children were safe and sound, Danny quickly took them out of the arena. He said that they had to leave immediately because he knew his old colleagues wanted to kill them.
What?
The guys from Planet Auto. You're not kidding, Dad.
Just ask Mom.
Before I met your mom, I was a secret agent. I escaped that life, but we've been found. Their son, Kelly, thought his dad was the biggest coward in the world and didn't believe what he said, but as soon as he finished speaking, a killer was already in pursuit. Danny quickly took his children into the casino lobby. He took out his gun, loaded it, and told his wife that he would attract the firepower and she should get the children out of there. He quickly opened the door of the Cadillac, put it in neutral, and pushed it hard. The car sped off. The female killer was so stupid that she just fired at the windshield. Seeing that the time was right, Danny immediately fired 2 shots. The female killer fell to the ground. Danny went to retrieve her gun and quickly turned to run to reunite with his family. But the female killer in the bulletproof vest was not dead. She didn't realize that Danny had actually given her a chance to live, but she wanted to die. So Danny had to grant her wish. The son who witnessed the scene threw up. Jess quickly used Danny's words to comfort her son. After that, the whole family found a motel to rest. Danny told everyone about his experiences in the first half of his life. It turned out that his real name was Xion. His mother died when he was 4 years old, and his father was violent. As soon as he turned 18, he joined the army. Due to a genetic mutation, he performed exceptionally well and had served in the Green Berets and the Delta Force. After that, an old man named MCA Fry came to him and recruited him into a special project. What special project? We took out bad guys. Terrorists, warlords, hostage takers all over the world, guys the government couldn't legally deal with. How many people did you take out? 26. Actually, the number is higher than that. Including this trip, I've killed 43 people. 43 people. They're all bad guys. You're a hypocrite. They were all bad guys at first. Everything was legal, but then old NCA Fry suddenly became greedy and started to treat them like mercenaries. They worked for whoever paid more. When I found out, I left. After that, I met Jess and married her. That's why they've been chasing me ever since. Jess finally understood why Danny didn't like to take photos, didn't like to go out, and was so cowardly for the past 18 years. Today, she finally knew the reason. Danny took out 5 passports and said that he had arranged everything. The next day, they would change their identities and fly to Vancouver to start a new life. Unexpectedly, his children were very angry because that was not the life they wanted. They threw the passports back at their dad and left. Jess also had a big fight with her husband and left in a fit of rage. To protect his family's safety, Danny stayed outside all night. Just as he was about to apologize to his family, Jess came out with the baby. Where are you going? I'm leaving. I'm leaving you. No matter how much Danny tried to hold her back, Jess was determined to leave with the children. Soon they arrived at a small airport. The person who greeted them was none other than Nikki, the owner of the boxing club. Jess was very surprised that Nikki had personally come to pick them up in a private jet. Although their relationship was very good, it wasn't that good. They quickly boarded the plane. At this moment, Nikki told Jess a story. She had been with a man for many years, and their relationship had always been great, but then one day, the man disappeared without a trace. 2 years ago, she accidentally met him again, but found that he had married a woman who was completely different from her. What's more, that woman was so hateful. Wait a minute, have you met her? Of course. He and that woman have built a new life. I wanted to see what she had that I didn't. What did you do? I did what I'm best at. I got close to her, gained her trust, and then patiently waited for her to walk into my trap. Jess was stunned when she heard this, because she knew that the woman Nikki was talking about was herself. She tried to find an excuse to leave with the children, but it was too late. I told you not to meddle in this, but who is it that brought them to me as a gift? He needs me. I'll always understand Xion more than he does. You can deal with this family however you want. I don't care. I just want Xion as my delivery reward. Right after that, the phone that Danny had taken from the killer yesterday rang. Old NCA Fry said briefly, if you want your wife and kids to live, you'd better get to my location as fast as possible, using the coordinates I sent. After saying that, he hung up. Danny quickly drove to the abandoned casino. The person who greeted him was the familiar bald-headed Rosen. Soon he led Danny to a room on the top floor. Is everyone okay? He was a little surprised. At this moment, old MCA Fry also slowly appeared. Why aren't you hugging your dad? What's the point now that you've done this, Dad? Sorry, what did you just say, Kelly? I'm your grandfather. Oh my god.
We are. Why didn't he tell the children?
He left out this part of his no-lies speech. You said he was like a father. Isn't this better? He won't kill his grandchildren. Listen, you can deal with me however you want. Just let them go. Xian, what do you think I want? To kill you. Deep down in your snobbish soul, do you really think I treated you unfairly?
You were my son.
Although the old man had wanted to kill Danny countless times, when he found out that Danny had taken down all the killers he had sent, he changed his mind. He felt a long-lost emotion. He was proud of his son. So, he wanted Danny to come back and work for him again, to restore their former glory together. If he didn't agree, he would kill his wife and children. Having no other choice, Danny had to accept. Old MCA Fry was very satisfied and immediately had Rosen take his family to the airport. But do you think they would just leave like that? No way. Before getting on the elevator, the daughter used reason and emotion to persuade her mother. The little girl wanted her mother to take down Rosen and then go back to save her dad. We're talking about Dad here. You brought me to my high school graduation when he pretended not to be there. It was awesome. My dad never did that. Rosen, sorry, can you be quiet? At this moment, the elevator had reached the top floor. As soon as they entered the elevator, the son Kelly quickly pressed all the buttons randomly. This is going to be interesting. The elevator stopped at every floor. Kelly kept persuading his mother to take down Rosen so they could go back and save their dad. Mom, Dad thinks we don't love him anymore. We can't end things this way. As soon as he finished speaking, Jess smelled a foul odor. It turned out that she had forgotten to change her youngest son's diaper. So, she calmly changed her son's diaper in front of Rosen. As soon as the elevator door opened, Jess made her move. Damn it. He'll probably be fine. Or not. They quickly went back, but as soon as they reached the door, they saw an unacceptable scene, but they didn't get back together because that was just Danny's plan to stall for time. That's a Vulcan chokehold. I'm just a tech guy. Just then, old MC Fry downstairs suddenly realized that something was wrong. He knew that Rosen would not answer his phone. The only possibility was that something had happened to him. After taking down the hacker, Danny quickly saw the army returning on the drone screen. He handed the drone to his son and began a battle for survival. He took down the enemies one by one with the support of his family members. Seeing this, old MCA Fry immediately woke Nikki up and told her to deal with Kelly and take back the drone. Nikki walked into the elevator with great confidence, going to the top floor. But as soon as the elevator door opened, Jess pulled the trigger. The two women fought. Although Jess had been boxing for many years, she was no match for Nikki. Soon she was taken down by Nikki, while Danny, with the perfect coordination of his son, took down old MCA Fray's entire army. There are two more, including the grandfather. Someone's on the right. The duel between the two fathers and sons was not that interesting, so let's switch to the scene where Jess was thrown to the ground. Although Jess was a little disheveled, she was not seriously injured. Seeing the pole on the ground, she suddenly had an idea. She had to deal with the woman who had slept with her husband for many years. Are you kidding me? But life is not a dream. You're not a decathlete anymore, are you? But just as she was mocking Jess, the tables turned. Bitch, there are still 9 events left. At this moment, old MCA Fry had defeated Danny, but just as he was about to shoot his rebellious son, his granddaughter Nina spoke up to stop him. Grandpa, wait. I know you think we might hate you for everything that's happened in the past few days. Maybe we should hate you, but I understand that family is the most important thing in the world. When I look at you, I don't just see a cold-blooded killer, I also see my grandfather. Maybe we can find a way to continue living as a family. My dear, if you think saying these words can persuade me, honestly, I just hope this can buy enough time for him to do this. Not wanting to disappoint his daughter, Danny took advantage of the old man's distraction and took him down. After taking down the leader, Danny decided to turn him over to the police. He was willing to face his past, even if it meant going to jail. However, Jessica and the children stood up for him, stating that Danny acted in self-defense and to protect his family. At the end of the movie, Danny returns to a normal life, cherishing every moment he has with his wife and children. He learns to be true to himself and no longer has to hide his identity. Today's story ends here. Thank you for watching. What do you think of this movie? Please leave a comment below.